You took it further than deserted us. head on my chest, staring up at the ceiling. Not a thing on this planet I choose to replace that feeling. Still a taste in my mouth from your tears, living out the worst of my fears without you. Oh, the night that you told me goodbye was something out of a movie. When you wrote it, said I wasn't your man, that cut straight through me. A grainy flicker on the silver screen, back together in the final scene. Can't sit through it, not these days. I don't wanna be strangers again, strangers again. No, I don't wanna be strangers again, strangers again.
If you saw my face in a crowded place, would you stare back at me? Or if the scenes still ever cross your mind, would they make you happy? Don't even matter, cause it's way too late. Find me in the places I hate, hoping to see you, hoping to see you. 'Cause I don't wanna be strangers again, strangers again. No, I don't wanna be strangers again, again.
Can you still feel my heart beating?
Cause it only beats for you. If there's one thing in my life I'm still needing, it's you. 'Cause I don't wanna be strangers again, strangers again. No, I don't wanna be.
You know I really miss you, baby.
You know we've been through too much just to let it go, to let it go. You know we have too much love just to let it go, baby. You know we've been through too much just to let it go, to let it go.
Hello, 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 and welcome everybody to episode 32, believe it or not, of the Synthwave Hangout with Memory Design and Woren. I am Memory Design,
And I am Warren.
and we still don't have that down smoothly, and one day we will. I swear to God, it's
Well,
going to roll
you said my name
off.
first.
Did
Yeah.
I?
Yeah, you said this is Memory Design and Warren, and then you go, and then I am Memory Design, which was funny.
Is it
And I
funny?
like it.
Is it funny?
To me, it's
That's what
funny.
I wanted. Off to
It'll
a
never
good-
not be funny
Off
to
to a
me.
good start already, right? But our bickering aside, as always, we have a very special guest with us. The other, how was I going to start this? We have a special guest with us known as Synth Fellow Hawk. Are you there?
I'm right here, Dave.
There
You're
you
gone.
are.
Thank-
Hey, we found him.
Yeah, we found him. And see, we were talking with him behind the scenes. I'm like, this is going to be just very, very casual, and it's already full of mix-ups and problems right away with me and Dominic, as always. So we are very glad to have you here, and I appreciate you making time to be on the show.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here to talk with you guys, and hello to everybody in the chat as well. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome show.
So one thing I ask people recently that have come on, if anyone listening in the chat or anyone who listens to this after isn't familiar with the Synth Fellow Hawk project or artist or however you would want to describe it, how could you describe the music that you make?
The music I make is mostly dreamwave, synthwave, dreamwave stuff. The music that I connect to, like emotionally. That the sounds that when I pick a sound, it's what it says, and the project is when I was Airwolf was my first introduction to Synthwave, back when I was a kid, and my father and my brothers they used to watch it, and the epic theme used to come on. I was playing with my toys. And I left playing with my toys. I go and listen to the epic theme, and I just went back.
Yeah, that makes sense. That is an amazing theme, for sure. I mean, that is an incredible theme. So I am not surprised that is kind of like the memory that started this and kind of that emotion connected with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dom, do you have anything from your childhood like that, like a theme that was very? Because I was trying to think if I do, and I can't think of anything right off the top of my head like that. Because a lot of the themes of stuff that I like, I've heard this on like the Heartbeat Hero show where he plays themes without the lyrics on
the vocals.
You're right.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of old shows I used to love, like Transformers and G.I. Joe specifically, the music is almost like 70s string and kind of a funk sound almost to them, and it doesn't have that memory I have of it being this like epic synthwave style thing if you listen to it.
For me it was so there was two movies I watched, I guess, endlessly as a kid, and one of them was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and then the other was Never Ending Story.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So those were like the two big movies, but like as far as TV show stuff goes, it was always Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I couldn't spit that one out.
Yeah,
but it was always.
That was big for me, but that was more in the 90s for me than the 80s.
Well, I don't remember the 80s. I was only like 4.
Oh, okay.
I think when it was I was 84, so I was about 6 years old.
I always forget that I'm the elderly one in the group here.
Okay, you're old as dirt.
Right. Yeah, I'm not asking your age either. Do you want to go by Synth Fellow Hawk or your real name in this interview?
You can call me Synth FH for short. By the way, me and Dom are the same age.
Okay. So I am
That's what I'm talking.
So I am the older one in the group. So I'm in my mid 40s, but
This old fart.
So I don't remember, the 80s firsthand. I mean, I do remember a lot of the 80s. However, I have a brother who's 5 years older than me, so I was exposed to a lot of the stuff teenagers were into and that kind of stuff. Because when you have an older sibling, you want to kind of be like them, or you're into their kind of stuff. And so
yeah.
I
have a brother that's 9 years older than me, so I totally get that.
So you got to experience the 70s, then, is what you're saying. That was your
pretty much, yeah.
right thing. No, yeah, my brother was born in 75, right? No, 76. So he was at the prime age, to be into everything like the mid 80s had to offer as like a kid. So I got that fun of being exposed to that stuff as well. But anyways, we could go on about that forever. So back to what you were saying, though, about the Dreamwave sound. That is my favorite sound, too. And so there's a lot of I like a lot of subgenres in synthwave and a lot of different music that's vaguely connected to synthwave as well. Like a lot of the releases that RetroSynth has aren't exclusively the kind of sound you make, but I still appreciate and like a lot of them. But what was it? Airwolf, do you think that first got you in, or when you first started making synthwave, was there a band that you heard and you're like, I want to do this kind of thing?
When I first heard about the...
You're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if you moved locations or something. There you go.
Oh, look, I didn't hear about synthwave. I was watching Cobra Kai, and afterwards it was the first season.
Yeah.
And then I went online to check out some of the songs they played, and then the song popped up, The Midnight, The Comeback Kid.
Yep.
And wow,
Great song.
And that caught my ear straight away. Hey, this wasn't in the Karate Kid or in Cobra Kai, and it really caught my ear. And then I just heard The Midnight, and whoever they collaborated with, Time Cop 1983, and then Miami Midnights and stuff like that, and everything from there just rolled on, and to Synthwave and all the other subgenres and Vaporwave and stuff like that, and just ever since I've been hooked.
Yeah, the rabbit hole is quite amazing, right? I mean, it's always something, a lot of people that we've had on here it basically said they somehow heard the Midnight, and the Midnight seems to be a real kind of connection for, I don't know, I feel like that's probably the most that's probably the name that most people have brought up. Like that was kind of their gateway into this.
Exposure wise, you know what I mean? They're probably one of the bigger names, and that's probably why, though. I mean, that's but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember, like, I was hearing some stuff with Synthwave on YouTube videos. You know, a lot of people would use some stuff in Vaporwave stuff for kind of the ending screen, you know, the watch my other videos type stuff. And I was already kind of interested in the music, and then I remember seeing Turbo Kid and all the music done for that. And then I checked out the band that did that soundtrack, and then it kind of rolled on for me from there. I had a few tracks already that I liked that I guess were Synthwave, but I wasn't really aware of it then. But yeah, that was kind of my catalyst in the band Lamatos. I don't know if you've heard of them or not. They're out of...
I have heard of them, Lamatos.
Yeah, I tried to communicate with them, maybe try to get them on the show, but they weren't too, they didn't seem too receptive to it. So, you know, you miss every shot you don't take, though, right? I guess is
That's right.
the way to take it. So, all right, so we have, so I'm checking out time here. I don't know, Dom, do you have anything you want to ask before we move on to the next block here?
No, I'm good, buddy. I'm just, enjoying the ride.
Yeah, we got a block of music that we're going to play, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about the project and everything, and then we're going to get into some Synth Fellow Hawk music, if that's okay with you.
Perfect.
Okay, great. So we're going to move on to the next block. This first one up is the newest by Light Source called Midnight Glow. And we're back. That excellent track. I mean, all of the ones in that block, but that combo of Outrunner and Jesse Mock, when I saw that pop up, I was like very excited to see that for sure.
Hey, you just watched my eyes light up a little bit. Well, you could have. You would have.
Right. Well,
like,
I haven't been checking my hidden cam I have at your house, so I'll have to start that up again.
Shame on you.
You've been wearing outfits for me, and I haven't seen. Is that what you're trying to say?
I've been wearing my extra tight shirts and stuff. You know.
Been working out and wanted me to make a comment.
I'm trying to toot less. You know what I mean? And like, you know.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh man,
Got to make sure that when you have it mic'd up properly. I don't want to blow out your mic. You know?
Right. Are you there, Synth Fellow Hawk? Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is.
Live from his helicopter.
Right. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about the logo yesterday. I've always been a big fan of your logo. We don't have to go into that, but how did the helicopter become part of that? I wanted to know.
I just like that it's like diamond covered.
I love the diamond helicopter. It's my favorite part of the logo.
Yeah, just asked the designer to put a synth and put a helicopter element into the logo, and he managed to catch my my drift, my ideas, and Adam Carney.
Right.
Did a very good job, and I'm glad you like it.
I love hearing the Airwolf story. It all comes together now for me. I get it now.
Oh, that's very nice. That's great to hear, man.
What? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not only Airwolf, of course. It's mostly mostly the synthwave artists that we know today. It's part of also a big influence on my music as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then clearly Woren too.
Right. So and all of Warren's music is always included. I bet. Right?
Everything I've ever made. Yeah, right.
So as far as the other people that you are into, I know you gave us a few that we're going to hear in this next block, and we have a special surprise. But who are you into currently?
Honestly, who I'm into currently, nobody specific. I'm kind of all over the place listening to stuff. I really liked Brandon McCool and Nicholas Rexon's song "Misled." I really love that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big fan as well, as you know.
Some of that.
And I'm sorry, this is this is kind of a bad question to put somebody on the spot with, so I appreciate you just rolling with it. Who in the community do you like right now who's in the chat, right? That's not what I'm asking.
Right.
That's Pac-Man, man, of course.
Right. Yeah, can you imagine if Craig Pac-Man was also a synthwave musician? He'd be like the unstoppable force in the community, right?
Oh, for sure.
The man is everywhere. So as far as we have some songs coming up for you in this next block, but I remember when you first I had not heard of you, I mean, being honest, before I got onto RetroSynth. And that's not uncommon. There's bands that are really popular that have been around since like 2016 that people are like, you've never heard of this band? It happens all the time. But when I was checking your stuff out, like right when I first heard you were coming on, I noticed you did a whole album with Kleiner 82, and that's related to something we'll talk about in a minute. Who is this person? I've never heard of that person either, but the music you guys have done together is excellent.
Oh, thank you very much. He's a friend of mine here in Israel. Alex Goldblatt goes by his name, and I like music's not meant to be done alone.
Yeah.
So we combined. We combined our knowledge together, and we have a lot of fun with it. Each one of us brings their own strength to the table, and we just try to make great synthwave music, for everybody.
It's really cool to be able to find somebody that you can do like a whole album with. I mean, I think that's kind of rare. I mean, I've been avoiding Dominic doing a whole album forever. I mean, this has been like no, but that is awesome because like I think some people do collabs and people are busy and this kind of stuff, but to be able to do a whole record with somebody, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm being
Yeah,
passive aggressive for Dave right now.
Yeah, I
This is
appreciate that, man.
purely for the show. I'm just doing it to mess with Dave.
No, Warren has been asking me to do collabs or something forever, and I just, I none of my stuff.
hates
I
it.
feel like I'm working on something, and then I don't know it. I always feel like it requires like a singer or something, but maybe I need to change that. I got to throw you some stuff and be like, just what can you do? That's what we need to be doing back and forth.
Listen, here's what it is with Dave, right?
Okay.
Is that
The
Dave is too good. He's too good, and anything I put on anything
Good looking.
will never match.
Right, you,
Yeah,
you forgot
well,
the word
that too.
looking. Right. After
Yeah. He's better looking and writes better music. So
I would argue with that, but this is our standard back and forth, I guess.
yeah,
We're
Yeah.
like, just no, you're better, and then
no
no,
hang
you,
up.
right? But we both actually dislike each other, right? Secretly in the background. Oh man,
Every time Dave puts out something, I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
yeah, appreciate that, man. So what was it? What was I going to ask about this?
Breakfast cereal.
Oh yeah, are we doing this now?
Throw a wrench in there. Sorry.
Yeah, Craig Packman always wants to know what people's DAW is and what their favorite breakfast cereal is.
Well, Ableton Live, and I like granola kind of cereal.
There you go.
Milk.
That's
Yeah, that's Dave speed right there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm into that kind of stuff too, and people always, give me a hard time about it. See, it's called health, Warren. It's called healthy eating, my friend.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
You can't. That's off the
No,
table.
I'm
That's off the table
pure-
for me.
Pure American over here, buddy. I'm just like
Right.
eating whatever I want. I'm just kidding.
Right, like a whole roast pig for breakfast, right? Every day.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right.
Glazed with like what is it, like brown sugar and like
Right, the whole pack of butter melted on it.
right, the whole pack of butter melted on it.
Try to be healthy. Butter's got calcium in it.
Just making my macaroni and cheese sandwiches, no big deal.
Right. So, anyways, I'm curious. Like, everybody has their own kind of process on how they're doing stuff, and Warren's thing is to sit down and just bang stuff out in a way that's always been really impressive to me. Mine is to pace around thinking about a song and then like go and write something and be like, oh, I hate this, and then pace around thinking more. I have this really awful process of writing. Do you have some sort of workflow that makes sense, or are you more like me, or how does this work on your end?
I don't know, a bit of you, a bit of stuff like that doesn't make sense.
Right.
But usually, like I start, with a chord or a melody. That, depends how it sounds.
Right.
And I build on that.
That's
and then to expand that. I do work with samples. At the beginning, I worked with samples at the beginning. Now, I'm less and less samples. But
Yeah.
I do most stuff, by hand, and I put in the chords and starting to build more stuff from the ground up.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Good, yeah.
that's great. I've found a lot of people in the community will start with like a drums and bass line, and I've never done that. I feel like I do the bass last, which some people are going to find that as a joke, because the joke is that my low end is always really, really insignificant in these songs. But
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
I don't know
I
how
would never say that.
Right, you would never say anything disparaging ever.
No, never. No.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's always interesting to hear how people start, because for me, I do kind of what you were saying, where it's like it starts with the chords, right? And I use a lot of chords in my songs. I find a lot of people do a lot of stuff almost with no chords. Am I off on that? Do you think, Dom? Do you hear this kind of stuff?
I've never heard. I mean, I've always started with chords myself. Either chord. It's always it's either a chord or an arp is usually where I start, and then bass is usually like third or fourth. After, either right before or after drum.
Your bass is always so good, though. I'm surprised that you're not like, and you're a bass player too. So
I'm a bass player, baby.
Maybe that's why you do it like that, right? Because you don't have to start with that. You can kind of just throw it in. Like for me, it's like, oh God, I have to put bass in this. You know what I mean?
Well,
at the end.
No, you're not wrong. You know what it is like, for me, I try to like, I don't even know how to really describe. I make like probably 30 different bass lines before I settle on one. It's kind of crazy. I don't. It's not fun for me mentally. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what it's like with me when I'm programming these drums and stuff like that. Because I'm a drummer, like what I want to do is get like a Roland V drum kit and just hand play all my stuff. Because I end up like trying to create these like tracks like I would make, and I can never program them correctly. So I always kind of just revert to standard drum tracks. So one day, like a memory design song is just going to have like totally inappropriate nuts drums. And then you'll know, that's when you'll know that I've achieved this kit.
Just like just like a drum fill every like 4 bars.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
It's just a rolling bass, but it's just insanity on the drums over everything. That's the way to do it.
You're like, okay.
Right. Totally unlistenable, but like, Drumwave is like giving me like a wink and nod. He's like, I hear it. I hear what's going on here. I love it. Everyone hates it but me.
He's writing with the drums.
Right. The drums are leading. So let's talk a little bit about the first Synth Fellow Hawk. That reminds me too. I wanted to ask you this before I get into this question. How did you come up with your name? It's a very unique name that I think sounds really cool. And I'm just curious, where's it from? Or how did you come up with that?
It's a reference to Airwolf and...
Okay. I was never really into Airwolf, so I'm going to miss all these references. So can you explain it for me and anyone else?
And Airwolf, his name was String Fellow Hawk.
Okay.
And so I changed the string to synth. And and I thought like everybody, the whole genres, everybody's got this cool name, and I thought, this name kind of sticks out, it sticks out and people will remember it or something like that. People won't forget it.
Right. I have never forgotten it. It's a very unique name. I remember for the first second I saw it, I'm like, what a unique name. And I didn't get the reference because apparently I'm out of it. And that even makes more sense now. That's amazing. That's even better than I thought it would be.
I always think it's like a wink and a nod to G.I. Joe for some reason. I don't know why, but it's the first thing that always pops in my head is every time I hear the name, I always think of G.I. Joe.
Really?
I don't know why.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
I think you might be on your own. You might be on your own with that one, I think. Who knows?
Also, a reference to aircraft. I love the aircraft kind of stuff from the 80s, Top Gun, GoldenEye, and Blue Thunder. I really love I love all of that, the aircraft stuff. I've been playing around with the AI, a bit with the AI to come up with some cool aircraft designs. Maybe I'll do something with that. But I love it. I love any AI. I really love it.
Right on.
Yeah, I think that stuff is pretty awesome too. And definitely, I think in the 80s, there was a real focus on that more. Like there's a lot, like a lot of cool stuff, like in Airwolf and like you were saying, Pop Gun, and it's like in the 90s, I don't have like a big memory of like aircraft being awesome, like in like TV and stuff. But like definitely, I have that like machinery in the 80s seemed like pretty cool to me. Even like Knight Rider and all that kind of stuff. It was all about like cars and aircrafts and all this kind of stuff. But the question I was going to ask before I got into that was, we have this next block up. It's got 3 songs here of yours. And normally I ask the person or the guest if they want to go over any of these or like talk about any of them all before or after. But I think we should do it before because we have a special surprise coming up in the second block. So I'm just, starting out with Purple Stellar. Is there anything that people should know about that song? And the answer can be no, that it's just a song you made or whatever. But
it's a synthwave cinematic kind of track, that gives like this kind of dreamy spacecraft kind of feel to it. Yeah, that's all most I can say about it.
For sure. And is that true for the Vegas Virtue also?
No. Vegas Virtue is different.
Okay. So what can you tell us about that one?
Vegas Virtue is more like a synth rock kind of song with with heavy guitars and kind of outrunnish a bit.
Yeah.
That was like the idea of the song. Kind of had this, while I was producing the song, I kind of had this, all the Vegas lights. I kind of felt like, this kind of like, shows the lights of Vegas, and I just got this feeling. Although I've never been to Vegas in my life, but
isn't it
but
funny
no,
how a song, you can be writing it? I do this too. Like, I have imagery in my head. Like, my song Vapor Trails wasn't called Vapor Trails, but when I was writing it originally, I got all this like feeling and imagery from it, like almost not like Top Gun-esque, but like that kind of like, you know, kind of 80s military propaganda based on Top Gun. I mean, the Air Force really leaned into Top Gun's popularity in the US, and there's all these training videos you can find that from the 80s where it's like, you know, join the Air Force, it's awesome, and like everyone's like running around and like high-fiving each other, and they're totally playing off of the Top Gun energy. And so it kind of reminded me of that, and that's how I came up with that name. So it's just funny how you can come into a feeling of something without experiencing it, because I've never been in the Air Force, and you've never been to Vegas. But what about Neon Rush? That's one with Kleiner 82.
I don't have much to say about that. That's like 70% of more of Kleiner's 82 song. I kind of helped him with the structure and a few of a bit of a melody stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's an awesome song. I really like that one. And I love.
Really, I was really inspired by that one. He got inspired big time somehow, and you know, inspiration. And you know, another thing I wanted to touch: inspiration. You know, sometimes you know you're uninspired, and when it hits you, it's like magic. You know, when inspiration hits, and I just it's one of the things I love about producing.
No, absolutely. I love the name, by the way. Two of these songs are off the album called Memory Mechanism, and that is nothing. My enjoyment of that is nothing to do with memory design, but I think that's an awesome album title. I don't know if you came up with that or what, but that's such a cool sounding album title.
Yeah, that was my solo album. The other album, Arcadia Dreams, was with me and Klein 82
right.
together. Yeah,
that's a cool name too. You got some cool naming going on these albums. Very, very period specific, or just generally cool sounding to me, anyways. Like when I hear an album or see an album's title that's like that I find very appealing. I guess I don't really know why I find it appealing, but I'm immediately more drawn to it. You know, and the artwork is cool too. So I'll be posting the links for people to check out. But so yeah, if you have nothing else, I say let's move on to this block, and then we can come back and talk about what's coming up next.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, sounds good. So this first one up is called Purple Stellar by Synth Fellow Hawk. All right, we're back, and I've figured out, I think, what it is about your music that I really like. And it, to me, and I hope you take this as a compliment, it sounds like I'm going through the soundtrack of like an amazing 80s movie. That's what it is to me.
I think that you should be highly offended by that. By the way. I just wanna
Is that
put out
offensive to you?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I'm very inspired by all the 80s movies and some of the 90s. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it has like this dreamy vibe, and then like that last one has that kind of like higher energy to it with like the awesome guitars and everything. Yeah, and I love that feeling. I was talking about this when Just Scott was on as well. He's got that same kind of energy to him, where it's like you're like listening to your favorite movie soundtrack. And you get to experience that with every album that comes out from some of these artists, so yourself included in that. So, I mean, Dominic hates when people refer to his music as video game music.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
I'm always worried about saying something like that. But
I think that what you said was perfectly fine. It's just something about like somebody who listens to my music. They're like, "Yeah, man, this is good. This would be really good in a video game." I don't know why, but.
Right. So you heard it here.
Nuts.
That's the compliment to give Woren from now on.
Yeah. Just say everything I do sounds good in a video game, and then I'll just feel really good about myself.
Get ready for the comments. Come on, comment section. I mean, on posts and stuff like that. Great video game sound on this.
Like everybody starts trolling me. I'm like, no, please stop.
Right, please stop.
I don't like this.
So when you're writing like that album, that solo album, the Memory Mechanism one, are you like me where you're kind of writing tracks and they come up in your mind, or do you have kind of like a vision for the whole album?
It's kind of I don't have like a partial vision, not like a whole vision, like 100%.
Yeah.
But it's a partial vision to it, and try to build on that, and not every song, as turns out good. There's a lot of you have a lot of unfinished songs in your folders.
Yeah.
And
don't get Dom started on that. Don't get him started.
Yeah.
and you just try to put together the puzzle, like of the whole album together as a puzzle.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm a big progressive rock fan, and so I'm always I feel like when I start creating music, and this happened with my other solo stuff that wasn't synthwave, I like start leaning more in towards like, this has to be some grand vision nobody but me will care about or understand. You know, like,
Yep. That's how I am. Yeah.
I'm like, don't you see how this flute represents sorrow?
Like, don't you get this?
Right.
Like this whole thing is about like, corporate greed or something, and you're like, okay, sure.
Right. And they're like, oh, I just like the song. But I mean, maybe some people get it, but I always try to like make a story of some kind, or definitely on this album I'm writing right now that kind of has that energy. So we'll see if
we're gonna be like the system, man. The system.
Right. We'll see if this lands as I hope or doesn't land as I suspect. So we'll see what happens with that. But
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
The game night has asked the question over here, like, who would I, what would my dream song be? Who would I team up with? It's a great question. I think I would love to team up with Mitch Murder, somebody like him.
Oh yeah, me too. That'd be incredible.
That'd be pretty sweet.
You can hear it in his songs, like how much experience he has in the stuff he does. Is unbelievable. Some of his work, and that would be a dream.
And we'll talk about too.
My dream is memory design. That's
get out of here! I'm never teaming up with you. Not with Woren, anyways. More to come on that, right?
the war between Woren and Windows.
Right. No, talking about that Dreamwave sound we both like. I mean, my God, Mitch Murder would be. I mean, you guys would match up very well. I think in the sound. That's an excellent reference right there. Bending Grid has a question too that's just come in for you. What would be your dream song? Oh, never mind. He's never mind.
He's re-asking the same. No. Ask him the same question again. I like this.
Right.
All over again.
Right. No, because there's a 30-second delay in the chat. That's what it is. So, all right, on that. So, God, I thought we had
Love
another. I thought Tristan was coming in with some hot question that was like a follow up
Some
on
really
that.
good questions going on there. That's so funny.
Yeah, they're talking about tacos in the chat and stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
So I gotta ask then, how many because I always like to ask this question. Well, not always, but I usually do. How many unfinished tracks do you have?
About 500. I don't know.
Yeah, right. I got you. Okay.
One of those guys, huh? I'll just back out of this chat, and you
I know
and
exactly
Woren
what that
can talk
feels
about
like.
this.
I think at one point I actually sent Dave I don't know how many gigs, but it was a handful of them of like unfinished songs that
he's
I've never really.
He's like, check out this Google Drive link. I'm like, okay, and I like open it up, and it's just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I'm like, what is this? Are you insane? Are you like sitting alone in a fridge?
Yeah, I'm like literally losing my mind. I feel like half the time because like it's years of before I started releasing. It was years of every time my kids would fall asleep or they'd be like out of like the house or whatever. I would just be like, I'm gonna go make music, and then I'd start something and then I'd never finish it.
Yeah, I feel weird about this because like I've got a bunch of like half finished tracks for this new album that I'm working on that may or may not get finished, so this number might go up. But I have 3 unfinished tracks in my repertoire so far.
Oh, hey, I got an answer for Craig here. It's Glade.
Glade?
Yeah, Glade plugins.
Oh, okay. You're fired.
Dad joke.
Favorite plugin is Spire sound. Yeah, reveal sound by Spire. I love that VST.
Yeah, Spire is one I've never used. You've used that, right?
I don't think I have actually.
A lot of people use that. That name has come up several times.
What is it? What does it do?
Highly recommended. I don't know. It's something about the VST that the sound really cuts through. Like it's good. It's good. It's good for plucks. It's good for melodies. Mainly that kind of stuff. But it's got a special kind of feel to it.
I'm so sorry. Is it a synth?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's synth.
Oh, okay, got you. No, I thought for some reason we were talking about like an effect of some sort.
No.
I've never heard of Fire.
No, it's a Spire is what it's called.
Oh, Spire. I thought you said Fire. I'm like, dude, I have never heard of Fire. Spire I have heard of.
Right.
I've never used it though.
I was like, have you been living under a rock? I mean, come on. It's like,
I have.
Broadcasting from the Rock Studio under the
right,
Rock
dude.
Studio.
I'm gonna get the dumpster studio one day. I'm gonna upgrade
One
from
day.
the rock to the dumpster one day.
Yeah, man, a man can dream. But yeah, so oh shoot, so yeah, Spire is something that I've heard of a lot. Is there anything else you gravitate to, or is it just Spire? Essentially, is a lot of what your sound is.
Spire, Serum 2, the Taliano LX. The Arturia Synth collection, those are my main synths.
Yeah, you named 2 of our favorites because I have Serum. I don't really use it. Dom, I think, exclusively uses Serum almost.
I don't use anything else except Serum.
Right, and I love the Arturia collection. I use that all the time. That's a great collection.
It's so funny because I have so many synths that I could use, and then I'll start to make something in one of them, and I'm like, I could do this in Serum.
Right. It's hard to go away from your favorite stuff.
It's like having your dog.
I have like a lot of different things, and I often do most of my writing in Baby Audio's BA1 because it's just got so many good sounds, and then I try to like farm out other synths for it, and then sometimes
That
I'm
is
like,
actually on my
it wasn't
list.
good. I'll go back to that.
Right, but that's on my list. I want to get BA1 and I want to get Diva. I'm waiting, until I can afford it. So
Yeah, I have Diva, but what I really need is somebody who is really into it to like give me a walkthrough, because I've opened it up and played with some stuff, and there's so many sounds and so many things. I'm like, it's overwhelming, and then I just go back to what I'm comfortable with. And maybe that's my problem with Serum also.
Well, the thing about Serum, here's the thing, okay, is that once you learn like how to kind of create something within it, like a sound within it, it's not that bad. What I did was excuse me, I have to clear my throat. basically what I did was I picked up a bunch of presets for it, and then I just kind of like reverse engineered like the presets to kind of try to figure out like how, like, so I would turn off like pretty much everything and then do one thing at a time and turn it back on, and then I would try to understand like how that created what noise or
Yeah, that makes
whatever.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's pretty cool.
very time consuming though. That's the only thing. I tell people this all the time. Okay, there is nothing wrong with using presets though.
No, I agree.
Absolutely nothing. Because sound design is one of those things that if you don't have the time to put into it, like it can consume so much of your available time that it can be almost like detrimental to your process.
Right, and not everybody is just a single person and alone like you. So, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just alone all day long, bro.
I don't know. You
I'm
get anything
alone,
done with the kids and everything on you all the time. I have one
just sweep
kid,
kick,
and
dude.
it
I told you,
is
sweep-
crazy.
Yeah, you just got to sweep kick, man. The kids leave you alone once you start sweep kicking them. I'm kidding, by the way.
So, anyways, let's get off this. So in the next block, did you? Well, the surprise we've been talking about is a premiere of an unreleased song that you've brought, which I always love when people want to do this because it's so cool to have like a first hearing on the show. And so in this next block, we have that, and then two other artists that are inspirational to you. Do you want to play the premiere at the beginning of this block or at the end of it?
Let's play the premiere right now. Let's play it right now.
Okay. Do you want to say, because it's going to play the premiere and then it'll play those other two songs and we can come back. Is there anything you want to say about this or any insight on it?
We'll say afterwards. Afterwards we'll talk about it.
Okay. That sounds good. So, all right, everyone. So this is the world premiere, another Kleiner 82 and Synthfellow Hawk collaboration. And this is called Ride With Us. And I'm excited for everybody to hear this. All right, we'll see you guys after this next block. Whew, that last one was very, very chill. Excellent pick on that. But I'm sure everybody wants to hear more about the song we played right in the beginning, which was the
Yeah, that was
brand
very
new
relaxing.
one that you've made with Kleiner82, Ride With Us. The pads in that song, like I was saying in our back chat, is I don't know what it is, that choice, instant nostalgia for me. When I first heard that, I was just like, okay, let's go. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. I was kind of struggling. I was trying to make up this chord progression for that song, and my mate Klein82, helped me out with that. He's good with the chords, and and also we felt that straight away. This is nostalgic, very strong nostalgic vibe, and boded well with the song.
Yeah,
Glad you liked it.
There's a lot of chat there too about this Game Boy feel almost of that ARP that a lot of people seem to really dig. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it definitely
intentional.
It what?
Of course, it's intentional. Everything's intentional.
Everything somebody likes is intentional, right? I absolutely meant to do that, 100%.
Right. I say that all the time too.
Yeah, absolutely. This mess up was
Dave will
on
be
purpose.
like, "Hey, dude, did you set this up this way?" And I go to Dave, I'm like, "Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I thought of all these things."
So, what can you tell me about that last one, the Kipple Factor band? I love music like that. I love the dreamy synth sound as well, as I know you do now. So, why did you pick that one?
Yeah, because I heard that song and it really touched an emotion. It's an ambient song with no drums, there's no bass in it. It's a kind of unique kind of in the synthwave scene. And the artist Kipple Factor, Alonso Carballo, who founded Synthwave Dojo for beginner producers in synthwave, and he's done a fantastic job. I've learned tons of him, and it's a little way to say thank you, for everything he's helped me out with, and I'm doing mentoring lessons with him, trying to still trying to improve my music and stuff like that, and that's his greatest song, in my opinion, and it's underrated. You always you hear all kinds of songs, and you don't. And you see there's only hundreds of listeners, but compared to other songs, we see the numbers are much greater than thousands, and and you say, oh, this is like a crime, and this song deserves so much more, and I'm glad you guys like the pick.
Yeah, and I love finding songs like that too. It's not always about numbers. Sometimes it just hits, or the song is really well done, and just for some reason it didn't connect as much or something, but I loved that song. I'm going to be definitely checking out Kipple Factor after this. And this is another thing I love when people bring music that it's inspired them. Often it's bands, sometimes it's bands that, most people have heard of, and every so often there's these bands that pop in that I've never heard before. Who was that band, Woren, who you did the Vaporwave version thing of? That we both liked. I don't remember their name right now. I have it saved though. It's in my to check out folder.
Are you talking about the shoegaze one?
Yeah.
Sorry, you cut out on my end. Did you say this?
That was based
So
off
I think
that guy that one band, right? On the show.
Yeah, but it was something mangoes. I forget. I just heard it. I heard a 30-second snippet of it, and I went and found it, and then decided to try to vaporwave it. But I can actually find that out in a second.
No, it's okay. I mean, I was just wondering if you remembered off the top of your head. I was just making the point that it's always cool when people bring stuff that you haven't heard before. So thank you for that. But and of course, Gio Various, RetroSynth's own Gio Various is always a winning pick in my opinion.
No, that's when I was when I joined the label, and it was a huge huge of artists I never heard of, and I got to listen to everybody one by one and try to pick out the best songs, and this major playlist over 100 songs, and that was one of my favorites. The Dreamwave, the power of dreams, like it says, and it really touches that spot, and
that Summer Songs compilation that I took this one from anyways, it was the first Gio Various thing I heard as well, And that's what really introduced me to his sound. And it's incredible if you really go through his catalog. He's got so much material, and it's all full of like amazing guitar solos and everything. So definitely check him out if you're into that kind of stuff. I love him. Dom, you're a big fan of Giovarius too, right? You were talking to me about this.
I love
before.
Giovarius. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
the guy's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Just like I've never seen somebody like I thought I had a lot of output, and he just crushes anybody I know that has. I don't know. He's just a machine. The guy just writes amazing music, and he writes a lot of it.
Yeah, and that collab or that remix you did with him is incredible.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That was actually really fun to do because I didn't have to write a lead.
Oh,
and,
yeah, right.
I didn't have to write a lead or an ARP, so I was like, hey, okay.
Right. You know, when you're with Giovarius, he's like, I got the lead. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about the lead or the ARP. I got it.
Right. I'll handle all the lead and solo and everything like that. Yeah, he'd be a good person for you to do more stuff with, both of you guys. Have you ever reached out to him at all? Synth
Yeah,
Bellhawk?
it's a bit of a language barrier. Plus, he's really busy. So, I mean, it sucks in that aspect, but I'm not going to give up hope. I'll probably just annoy him until he decides to block me,
to do it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, or block me, one of the two. I'll be like, I've had enough of this guy.
Is there anyone you're working with, Synth Bellhawk, on the like upcoming thing other than the Kleiner?
Yeah, the single "Ride With Us" is part of upcoming album later this year. Yeah, I was working, as we all know, Miami Dan, Neutron Dreams, along with them as on the mixing and the mastering of the album. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe there'll be another collaboration on the album. I don't know who yet. We'll see. I don't know, but it's still, hopefully the album will come this year, and there'll be a couple of collaborations. Yeah,
that was a good way to say
excited.
it. That was a good way to say it, because I was on a podcast earlier in the year, or at the end of last year, I think it was, and I was feeling all like motivated about my album, and I remember I was like, it's going to come in the first quarter of 2025, and it's it's past that, and the album is still not done. So I would say coming this year, it should be the standard thing that everybody says, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. It's still in the works. Yeah,
absolutely.
I know how that goes too, buddy. Don't worry.
All right, so as anyone watching the time knows, technically the show's supposed to be over in about 20 minutes. We're going to go over just a little bit, I think. So we should move on, but we got one more block, and then we'll come back, and we can talk for a minute and then say our goodbyes, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, that's
Sounds good.
All right, so this next one coming up is from the new Arcade Beach album. This is Moving Away, featuring the Bad Dreamers.
They said it wasn't humanly possible. All the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand. Introducing Game Boy. It's
I'm in between. I carry the weight of the things I've seen. It's a suitcase full of baggage I don't need.
feel the same?
And we're back. And I can't believe it, but we are already at the top of the hour. This show, for me, this is one of the fastest
It just
ones.
rips.
This is one of the fastest ones I've ever felt. I
It
don't know
rips,
about
man.
you.
It goes right.
What was that, Tom? Sorry, you're cut out.
I said it just rips right by. It always does. It always feels like when we start, it's like, all right, well here's 2 hours coming up, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, okay.
Right. Well, all of a sudden I'm playing songs and we're chatting about, music or the process or cereal or whatever. And then I see the time and it's like, for me, it's 11:30. I'm like, uh-oh, I have like 45 more minutes of things to do. So, but when we were talking with Fellow Hawk before, I gave him a heads up that this is typically how the show goes. So
yeah, it really flew by 2 hours. I feel it too.
So we are unfortunately at the end, but I wanted to thank you for coming on the show and for spending your time with us and for being such a great musician as well. It's been a real pleasure
we appreciate it.
to be on the label with you. I really do mean that. What was that? Sorry, you're breaking up.
So much for such warm and kind words, and it really means a lot to me. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dom, and everybody in the chat. Pac-Man, Future Past Radio, Saturday AM, Bending Grid. Who else was here? Pashang, I think. And Light Source. So many. And the Game Night. Yeah, really. Thank you, all of you, every single one, from the bottom of my heart. For everything, for all the good words. It means the world. It really touches
sure,
my
man. We
heart.
love you, dude.
Yeah, and thank you to you as
well.
well.
It's been a long journey so far for me. It's been a long journey. There's been a few tough times, but yeah, you get over it, you move on, and it's great to see. It's really great to see.
Yeah, and we have a really, really good community too. So I mean, I always, whenever I'm feeling down or whatever, a lot of the times the community will bring me back up.
Oh, absolutely. And you're part of this too. You show up in the chat when you're free and everything, and we really appreciate that as well. I mean, it's always nice to see you in the chat hanging out.
Right, it's really great. I love it.
So, I don't think I have anything else. Do you have anything else, Woren?
No, you know what, man? Same thing as usual. Just everybody, just be kind and love each other and try to have the good day and make everybody's life as good as possible around.
And so, with that, I think we're going to end the show, and we're going to play 2 tracks out before we're fully done. But once again, Fellow Hawk, thank you for coming, and we look forward to having you back. Anything you want to promote or say before we go?
No, nothing to promote. Just my latest single. It's coming out next month on the 31st of July. It's about a month. But yeah, I'll upload it. I'll upload a video so people can get to see and hear beforehand. And yeah, just want to promote the single. That's all.
Okay, great.
With us,
well,
the guys will like it.
And we'll definitely be playing it on the show as well once it comes out. So don't worry about that. But if you're gonna hang during these last songs, make sure you keep your mic muted as well, because you'll still be coming through. So just a heads up on that. But I wanted to thank everybody for coming. As always, I say my favorite day of the week is this show. My favorite part of the week is this show. You guys make it all worthwhile. Everyone in the chat, the guests, Dominic, I appreciate everyone. And we will see you next week for, believe it or not, episode 33. I can't even believe it. So hope everyone has a great rest of their Tuesday, or if you're on the other side of the world, a great Wednesday. And we will see everybody next week. Later.
Awesome. Later.
Later.
So don't